In a Fox 5 follow-up, city leaders say they are working on a plan to make the Arts District safer. This comes after what businesses call an escalation in crime across the area. One restaurant, Tacotarian, and a coffee shop, Dig It Coffee, both say they were broken into last week with surveillance, as you see right there. The councilwoman for the area, Olivia Diaz, says the city's putting all hands on deck to tackle the problem. She plans to collaborate with Metro Police, city marshals, business owners, and even private security. Right now, she is working to schedule an Arts District public safety meeting with all the parties. Metro's downtown area command captain expects to turn that into a regular occurrence. He says he hopes to set up an official Arts District coalition. That's where Metro can hear directly from businesses about concerns. They'll be there to answer questions, too.
If any businesses in the area or the owners of those businesses had questions specifically about lighting or signage or things that they could be doing to improve the crime prevention efforts around their business, that would be something that we have the ability to provide for them.
Seeley says he also plans to increase the number of officers patrolling the area at night.